My name is Nathan Hansford. I'm a Jew. I'm from here, which is Solano County. I was born here, raised here. I'm a union rep by trade. My mom was a union activist as well as a civil rights activist. She was quite a rebel, in trouble a lot. That's where I got it from. My dad, not so much. My dad was military, very straight edge, very by the book. They got divorced when my mom was pregnant with me. She raised us to be Jewish by identity, not necessarily religiously, but certainly she made us aware of who we were and make the world a better place, at least better in the way that I think it could be better.
Do you feel that it helps?
Yes, yeah. I think, you know, unfortunately progress is slow. I do think there has been progress in America. Not as much in my lifetime, but certainly, you know, during my mom's lifetime, the changes she saw. She was born in the 40s. She saw the civil rights movement. She saw black people get the right to vote. She saw women get equality. She saw, you know, a lot of change in America during the 60s and 70s. I wasn't around for it. Let me be clear. I'm not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. You know, Jewish people died fighting for civil rights, in particular for black people. We were in the South signing people up to vote and doing all those things, and we were murdered. And nobody really stands up for us, including us, right? I think it's significant that Jewish people overwhelmingly you know, participate in these things, but we always forget about ourselves. And we do have a troubled history in this country.
And what do you want to do about that?
Mostly I just want to move to Israel. I mean, honestly, that's always been my dream. I did my best, but I know that those battles typically people don't show up for. It's great that we go out and we fight for everybody else, but when it comes to, you know, hey, don't walk into our synagogues and shoot us, nobody shows up for that. I think that's sad.
So what's holding you back from moving to Israel?
My children. Part of having children is having the responsibility of taking care of them and being able to provide for them. And what I do here allows me that opportunity. And if I left, you know, I'd probably end up working in Walmart or something, and you can't support your kids that way.
And it's important for you that your kids will be raised Jewish, proudly Jewish?
Yes. My kids already know more than I do. They can speak some Hebrew, I can't. And they still, you know, celebrate Shabbos. They know who they are, which to me is important. And then what they do with that is their choice, right? And I think my mom was really big on that for us too, is, you know, this is what you are, but what you choose to do with it is up to you.
When you feel Jewish?
I would say most of the time. I mean, probably not all the time, but, you know, certainly most of the time. You know, I say Moda Ani when I get up, and I, you know, say the Shema when I go to bed, and you know, I'm not as good about davening and rapping tefillin as I should, but you know, I surround myself, as you see, with Jewish things, because that is, to me, that is, you know, the single biggest piece of my identity is that I am Jewish. And so, you know, I do think of us as a people, though, not necessarily as a religion. To me, Christianity is a religion, Islam is a religion. We're a people. We have our own food, we have our own language, we have our own everything. That makes us a people. That doesn't make us a religion. It makes us a people. And so I recognize I'm part of that people. There is not a single person who knows me that does not know that I'm Jewish. I don't hide it. In fact, I'm pretty outgoing with it, because growing up here, people say things like, oh, I got Jewed, which in America means that, you know, somebody took your money, they gave you a bad deal or whatever. And so when people say things like that, of course I would be very upset, and sometimes I would speak with my hands and not my words. And so I just found, as I got older, you need to know I'm Jewish, because if you open your mouth and you say something stupid, I'm going to react. And so, you know, so I wear my kippah at the very least, and, you know, I have tattoos on me, I have Hebrew writing on me, I have Stars of David on me, you know, it's not a secret. We have a lot of issues here, as you probably noticed.
Can you please tell us in few words about your experience in Israel, in your birthright?
When my mom passed away, that had a profound effect on me. One of her dreams was to go to Israel. She never made it. And so one of the things I did not long after she passed away was I started exploring more into what it means to be Jewish. And then I made a birthright trip, and I think that has significantly changed me as well. I stayed in the old city of Jerusalem for a month and went to yeshiva. You know, it doesn't get any cooler than that. And got to, you know, wander the streets of Jerusalem and, you know, walk to the Dead Sea and, you know, do all these just amazing, amazing things. I think the impactful thing was just being there, you know, clearly learning about our history and learning more about, you know, what it means to be Jewish, and, you know, what God expects us of us as Jews, I think was, I mean, exceptionally powerful. I felt at home. I felt at home. For the first time in my life, if I can say it, it's I know it'll sound weird, but for the first time in my life, it was easy to be a Jew. I've never felt like that here. Growing up here, me and my brothers were the only Jewish kids in school. I almost failed music class in elementary school because I refused to sing the Christmas songs. So that started happening when I was about in second grade, was we started singing the dreidel song in school. But connecting with other Jewish people for the first time in my life, I wasn't alone anymore. Here in this part of the world, it's easy to feel alone. So that whole experience of losing my mom and just realizing my mom gave us something special. We have something special and it comes from her. And getting in touch with that was really the change for me. Even though I was doing something new to me, it wasn't new, I think, to my soul. And so putting all that stuff aside and lighting my candles and having challah and, you know, doing those things, really, it felt right. I felt connected back to my mom and my grandparents, and yeah, so unfortunately, the big change for me really came when my mom passed.
There is anything that you want to tell to the world?
Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.